Donald Trump and Joe Biden couldn't be more different when it comes to the issue of race in America.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing crime. They're rapists.
This guy's more George Wallace than George Washington, and it was wrong, and he's splitting people.
Trump has consistently downplayed the role of racism in American life while simultaneously making racist and xenophobic comments. Biden has positioned himself as a crusader for racial justice. He labeled Donald Trump the first racist to become U.S. president, in remarks his opponent's re-election campaign quickly rebuked. As nationwide protests raged over unarmed African Americans killed by police, racial divide has become a central issue in the 2020 election.
Hey, well, when I say let me see your hands, you put your fucking hands up.
Trump has responded to the nationwide protests over the death of George Floyd by focusing on law and order and urging a militaristic response. The Republican president signed an executive order to take steps toward police reform. Among others, it bans the use of chokeholds unless an officer's life was in danger. Biden has accused the Trump administration of lax oversight of police departments accused of civil rights violations. But the former vice president has resisted activist calls to defund the police. Instead, he's promised to invest $300 million in a program that supports hiring more diverse officers and train them to develop less adversarial relationships with communities.
Joe Biden initially did not say anything about the defund the police movement. Then he came out and said very clearly that he does not support defunding the police. In fact, he's made an argument that police actually need more funding in order to do a better job.
It will not happen. African American communities have suffered under Democratic control. To those I say the following. What do you have to lose by trying something new like Trump?
Trump claims he's done more to help African Americans than his predecessor, Barack Obama, the nation's first Black president. He often touts Black unemployment, which hit the lowest levels on record before the coronavirus pandemic, when talking about his policies on race.
I think that one of the key things that you have to talk about with Trump is this kind of question about whether he's trying to play both sides of the issue. He often gets accused of race baiting and of making comments that are racially insensitive, racially inflammatory, racist, depending on who you ask. So at the same time that he's made kind of the core arguments for his reelection, how much he's done for the Black community, you also have to kind of take the other side of that as well, about some of the remarks that he's made.
Biden has called for laws making it easier to sue over wage discrimination. He also said his administration would provide $300 million in grants to cities that reduce discriminatory zoning regulations and create a task force to address why Black people disproportionately die from COVID-19.